Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
The lightning strikes.
We're under a tornado warning. It's not a watch, as in be careful and watch out.
That just means they have spotted circulation.
Why did you choose?
That doesn't mean that anything has touched down.
There is a tornado warning. Not how far is Commerce from us?
What do you want me to do?
20 miles from here. They're telling people.
It's 40 miles.
They are telling people
to seek shelter.
And yet here we are,
podcasting for our fans,
Why?
listeners. Should we call them fans or listeners? I feel like fans is maybe like presumptuous.
Fans indicate that they are fanatics.
Fanatics, they're freaking love us.
Yes. So if you freaking love us, you're a fan.
I think most people are just listeners.
Hello, freak fans.
Are you a fan? Well, then you freaking love us.
When I said that, for some reason, I thought of a weird fan. Like
with blades and a motor?
Not like blades, like Wesley Snipes, but like a fan.
Oh,
like
stalker.
Yeah. Like
Got
like fan as in Robert De Niro.
Oh, yes.
Nobody remembers that show.
Fan?
Nobody does.
Because it was terrible.
It was terrible. But nobody remembers.
Wesley Snipes remembers it.
I bet he does.
Because he didn't pay taxes on it.
I like the fact that you said Blade, which made me think of Wesley Snipes, which made me think of Robert De Niro, which made me think of the worst movie ever made, one of the worst movies ever made. Fan. This is the Board Game Snobs.
And welcome.
Follow us on Instagram, mainly.
To the mailbox.
No, don't. That's what weird fans would do.
Oh, that's right. They're stalking us.
Okay, guys.
I see you. I see your mailbox.
Can't help but notice that you have you've been pre-approved for a credit card.
Speaking of which, emailer Richard Lupino,
The Wolf, go ahead.
The Wolf, he sent us an email and he was referencing. Oh, first of all, he said,
I'm looking him up right now.
Oh, you got him?
Yes, he says Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated is his game of the year.
Okay.
We're not big on legacy games, but I will say
we're not big on legacy. We're not big on deck builders.
And thus we're not big on Clank, but I did enjoy the original Clank.
I didn't play that one. I played the space one with you.
He also playing The King's Dilemma, which was one of my most anticipated games of 2019, which still sits on my shelf in shrink wrap.
Shrink
wrap.
Well, I had planned on playing it today, but Enrique bailed once again.
He had a job.
Well, good for the boy.
Them
but
chicken wings ain't gonna make themselves. You leave him alone.
They're not cheap. Wingstop is not cheap.
No,
Wingstop is a local wingery. Is that what you would call that? In the area?
It's an area for which they butcher chickens.
And the wings ain't cheap. For like a 12-pack, it's like $15.
Man, I really want some wings right now. If it wasn't storming and tornadoing, I would go across the street to Wingstop.
Well, and Richard Lupino, in reference to our last podcast where we talked about Yukon Airways, he said, best review ever, quote unquote, it made me feel fine. Then he proceeded to list airplane movies. And there's one he mentioned that I forgot about. Memphis Belle.
I love Memphis Belle. I've mentioned Memphis Belle.
When I was a kid, I loved Memphis Belle. Who's the blonde white guy in it?
Give me a second. I'm sorry. It'll come to me. Don't say his name because it will come to me.
Because it's like him and I get him and the guy from Leverage confused.
Oh, he was the bad guy.
Modine. Is it Matthew Modine?
Matthew Modine. He was the weird scientist guy on Stranger Things.
But there's another guy. Who's the guy in Leverage?
I can't remember.
There's a guy in the Leverage TV show.
Yeah, it wasn't worth watching.
It's kind of like Bill Paxton, Bill Pullman.
I like that Matthew Modine. A lot of people don't remember that he closed out the Batman series. He come in. Yeah, he was the...
he died.
Yeah. Well, he died, but he had that one line that he got to deliver. He was a coward the whole movie. There ain't but one police in this town, and then got shot. So, yeah, good job, Matthew Modine. The 90s were good for you.
Timothy Hutton.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
That's the guy from Leverage. He's the other blonde white guy. Looks like Matthew Modine.
Memphis Belle is a story about a B-52 bomber on its 25th run, if I'm not mistaken, and they got to retire.
Oh, how you remember that?
Because I played the B-52 Queen.
The B-52s?
No, Queen.
Love Shack?
Queen of the Skies.
Love Shack?
One of the greatest solo board games of all times. And B-17, Target for Today. All those that are actually...
Bingo. Sounds like you're playing bingo numbers.
No, it's...
B-52.
Plus,
B-17.
I grew up near Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma City.
What about Soldier Spy Air Force Base?
What?
Tinker, Taylor, Soldier Spy?
No, Tinker Air Force Base.
You're not very good at yes and.
I'm not... No, you're good at interrupting and ruining trains of thoughts.
You're not.
Oh, anyways. Watergate, it's on the way, by the way. Even though it's raining outside, that just reminded me. We ordered Watergate. Also, Kane. Kane, why don't you ever text me or call me?
I think we all know why.
Kane sent an email in saying for his people's choice, he voted...
Uh-oh. This is lightning.
He voted for Coloma, which...
I should save this like every 5 seconds.
Mike just ordered Coloma. Also, we have Maracaibo on the way, as well as Predaporter. So
And Watergate.
and Kalis.
Oh, Kalis.
Yes. So all types of good things for you to look forward to as we finally delve down into what our favorite game of 2019 is. But we are going to talk on this podcast after we get done bantering about my favorite game of 2019 so far. Do you have more banter? Go ahead with the banter.
Well, no, I got... man, it is really lightning outside.
I'm frightened. Very, very frightening.
Brett Ransom.
Who?
You hit that high.
Thank you, sir. That was scared. I had to clutch that one.
Brett says, Jerry and Gobby, thanks for putting the podcast out there every week. I thoroughly enjoy it, including all the banter. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your takes on games, even if you dislike some of my favorites. Okay, Jerry, he says some of his favorites are Splendor and Flamme Rouge.
He likes the Flamme Rouge. I don't have a problem.
I've never played Flamme Rouge.
I played Flamme Rouge. I did not mind it. It was not...
Ignore the twisting cloud out sky. Continue talking.
I'm ignoring this tornado.
Is that Dorothy?
I've been to Dorothy's house, by the way.
What? How?
They have it.
It's not real. It's a movie.
No, they have it in Kansas, in Liberal, Kansas.
They did not film that in Kansas. That was filmed on a film studio lot in California.
But they moved the house to Liberal, Kansas. You can go and see it. I am dead serious. I have been to Dorothy's house.
Is the dead witch underneath?
No.
Are you?
I'm dead serious.
Crazy.
Go ahead and Google that if you'd like.
I'm not going to.
There.
I don't have
On a
the
business
power.
trip.
We're operating on candles right now.
But yeah, I enjoyed Flamme Rouge, but I'm not big into racing games. Now, my favorite racing game is Gravwell. I really like it.
He's working on a variant, an expansion. I've seen him on Twitter talking about expansions, yes.
I hope he does, because it's a great game.
That's better than Flamme Rouge. You need to go get that checked out. Go to the doctor if you got Flamme Rouge.
Red phlegm? Red phlegm is what that is. Go ahead.
He says...
which makes me think of Australia, the flame, which makes me think of the current news about the fire in Australia. That makes me worry about Troy and all our other Australian listeners.
We hope you're okay.
We do hope you're okay. Apparently, when I looked online and looked at where the fire is at, it is literally everywhere. Like, there are people apparently setting fires purposely, like arson level type stuff.
Why?
I don't know. Because they're arsonists. That's what they do. They enjoy setting things ablaze.
I just saw where like a firefighter was like trying to feed a koala some water, and it made me cry.
Koalas have the smallest brain per body weight for a mammal. They are literally like very not smart.
So brain size equals IQ?
Not necessarily, but they're not very smart.
What if like what brain they have, they're like super smart with it?
Like what? Like they literally eat one leaf off a eucalyptus thing. That's why they don't go anywhere. They have one food they eat. They're just like Enrique. They eat nothing but chicken nuggets.
Maybe they're building time machines in the back and we don't even see it.
You don't know, but no, I don't. I worry about Australia because I don't think that they have a lot. I mean,
they're in an island. It's an island by itself.
Well, we're all an island unto ourselves when we think about it. But what little wildland firefighting I did, it's scary. Like, it's a different type. Like, people don't realize how fast a wall of fire can move. And people often don't evacuate because it's like, oh, it's a fire. I can just hose my house down or, put the water hose, the sprinkler on and be all right. And that's not the case. It's terrible.
We might have pasture fires in this part of the woods.
You have nothing out here. Like, literally, you could set fires all day where you live and nothing would happen.
It's been storming, like, the past 3 weeks.
But tornadoes, we got plenty of those. I wonder if they have those in Australia. But
but they spin the other way.
Now is not the time.
The clouds are circulate
to the left, counterclockwise. That's not how it works. I don't know. That might be how it works. Because tornadoes occur. Well, no, they won't have.
I think that's all just made up.
No, it's not. But
Troy clarified that.
Troy, that really is he a scientist? Should we be listening to Troy?
Troy, hey, speaking of, we haven't heard from you, so
that's
please
what
check
we're worried
in.
About when
please
I was watching this. When I was watching about the fires in Australia,
we had several others from. I wish I could remember everyone from Australia.
All right, listen. They have all this charity stuff that they're donating to all the firemen and to help out all the individuals there in Australia. How about y'all that's our Patreon. That's our thing. Just donate to them.
If you're from Australia, please check in if you're a listener.
Yes, because we're extremely worried. I would go over there and help if I wasn't deathly afraid of airplanes, the ocean.
I can't fly.
Spiders,
koala bears.
Kangaroos.
Scorpions. Literally everything that is Australia.
I can't be out in the heat for very long.
I would fight fires, but I'm not real good with heat.
Dust.
I've got severe allergies.
Alligators. Leather. Jeeps. Vehicles that look like Jeeps. Topless vehicles in general.
I wonder if they have like
the Southern Hemisphere.
I wonder if there's a topless vehicle bar.
Never mind. Get off Australia because this is depressing me.
That was a Jeep shot.
That was good. Oh, no.
Okay.
That was a grand Jeep shot. Okay, go ahead.
In regards to our Rise of Skywalker discussion, a.k.a. fight.
Did we fight?
Maximilian.
Did he send us an email?
We have an email.
I didn't see it.
Now, he's very to the point, this Maximilian.
I enjoy people to the point.
He does not say hello.
Do we mind if we call him Max?
He does not even say bye-bye. He simply says, this is in regard to force healing.
Oh.
In which you fought me on.
I did fight you on.
He said the very first force power we ever see in any Star Wars movie is force healing.
Where?
That's what Obi-Wan is doing when he puts his hand on Luke's forehead after the attack of the sand person.
Really?
He says, I'm sorry, Jerry, but there are 3 sources for this. Number 1 is your own eyes.
Burn.
Viewing the film itself.
Very snarky, Mr. Maximilian.
Number 2 is the novelization, which reads, Old Ben places his hand on Luke's forehead and he awakens with no headache. Unquote. I should have did an open quote.
So, like, basically, Ben is, like, going around doing the proxing to people.
Like touching the foreheads.
Touching foreheads.
Number 3 is George Lucas himself, who confirmed this in an interview. He has corrected us before on some things.
Max sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Max knows what he's talking about. Maximilian, please feel free to write in.
Did he send that to the Board Game Snobs Gmail?
That is our Gmail.
I didn't see it. But
it's on. You must not have it on your phone anymore.
No, it's on my phone. I'm looking at it right now.
Well,
wow. Thank you, Max. I stand corrected.
And he doesn't stand for correction very often.
No, I do not. I don't take correction well, Max. You've hurt my feelings. But I appreciate that. That is actually an interesting thing. I like the fact that, like, the Star Wars universe is so deep. Like,
Whoa, so deep,
dude, so
man.
deep,
What
man.
is life?
We're midichlorians.
Why are we here, dude?
Oh.
What if Keanu Reeves was like the new Luke Skywalker?
I would watch that all the time. Have you ever wondered about why would you use the Force to choke somebody? Next band.
BBC News.
Oh.
Do you know what Wakanda is?
I had like 4 things come to mind. I'm sure none of them are right. Oh, is this one? It's one of the jewels.
Nope.
And the fist.
Nope.
The fist, the power fist.
Nope.
The power glove.
You're very incorrect.
No, that's what it was. He got the Wakanda jewel. He put it in the power glove, and then when he snapped his hands, everybody died. I remember that now.
It is the fictional country in which Black Panther lives from Marvel.
I was told I should watch that. That is good. That Black Panther's good.
Well, according to BBC News, the U.S. government listed this fictional nation as a trade partner. They said a USDA spokesperson said the Kingdom of Wakanda was added to the list by accident during a staff test. The department's online tariff tracker hosted a detailed list of goods the two nations apparently traded, including ducks, donkeys, and dairy cows. So we're in real life we're trading with Wakanda apparently.
That's okay. Well, I mean, better than Tatooine.
But I'll give you 1 donkey for 2 lightsabers buried in the sand.
That's a good trade right there. Now,
What about her yellow saber? Spoiler alert.
what?
Her yellow saber.
Who has a yellow saber?
Ray?
When?
The very end when she ignited her saber.
I don't remember. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm blanking on that. Yeah, because I was sleeping there towards the end. She buried his, and then it's like, oh, my saber's gold.
Yeah.
I like it. It's
She
not
mixed
yellow.
red and green and made yellow.
It's gold. It's gold. I like
Gold,
it.
okay, whatever.
I like that better.
What does that mean?
It just means her kyber crystal is a different color.
Oh, kyber crystals.
Kyber crystals.
All right.
I didn't know what Wakanda was, but I know about kyber crystals.
I just seen from Reddit, this just in. Sam Healy works for Mythic Games now.
Who's Mythic? Who's Sam Healy?
Who's Sam and who's Mythic?
Is that in Wakanda? What is that?
Can we trade him for 2 ducks? I'll take a duck for 1 Sam Healy.
I don't know, but you can trade him for a Delizio. Oh.
A Delizio crystal.
Oh, yes.
What factor 1? We're mixing all kinds of stuff up here,
We
guys.
got it going. Tell me about this. Who is Sam Healy and why has he done?
This is just...
Is he on the Marvel Avengers?
you know who Sam is? Says source Mythic Games Facebook. Straight from Reddit. This just in. Oh man, I hate it when they ask me for those weird letters I got to put in RZYDYY.
Especially because you don't know if you're a robot. But what if you are?
I don't know these numbers.
What if you're just a robot who really wants to know?
What if I'm Data and I don't view myself as a robot, but I may be sentient?
You could be.
I refuse to put in these numbers.
I think that
I'm a sentient cybernetic organism.
I think that Sam leaving to go work for that company was a good move.
For him,
Yeah,
I do too.
because I think it's a good thing to branch out.
Whatever's best for your fam.
Correct. I think that was a wise move for him. I mean, plus, really, I mean, out of all the what's the channel?
It says join. I don't know how to join this.
Dice Tower.
Mythic Games was live, and apparently, maybe they announced it live.
He was the one that when I used to watch that other show, he was the one.
What
that,
other show?
The dice thing. He was the one whose opinions, like, I kind of enjoyed. Like, I played a lot of various games of his that he
Yes.
recommended. Is that all the
Who is Mythic Games?
I don't know.
I've never played a Mythic game,
Have you played a game?
but apparently they're into minis, so
Oh.
that would fit Sam
we don't do-
very well.
we don't do
We're
minis.
not big on minis, except for Anachrony, which we just played.
Which was nice.
We played it 2-player. Me and Jer Bear.
What?
That's my nickname for
Okay,
you.
go ahead.
You want to cut that out?
No, let's just keep it in. Let people know.
So we have the Exosuit Commander Pack.
The Exosuit Commander Pack. Yes, we do.
Yes, hi.
I remember berating you for purchasing that and saying, why would you just buy something just to add minis into a game? And then I saw the minis and I was like, these are really nice. And they do add something to the game. And thankfully, because of that, I started painting minis. And so now occasionally I like to kick back, relax, open a good bottle of Proper 12, and just paint whatever minis Gobby has purchased. And Anachrony was my first set, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not good at it, but it's fun to do, and even a poorly painted mini is better than the gray one.
Yes.
So that's what I say. Can we move on talking about my favorite game of 2019 so far? Barrage.
Yes. Gourd head.
Barrage, a game by Cranio, I believe, which
Correct.
is somewhat...
Publisher, Cranio.
And Simon Luciani and Tommaso... What's his name? Let me pronounce
Batista.
his name. Batista. So I'll just come out and say it.
Artist, Antonio De Luca.
Played Barrage at BGG, read the rule book, fell in love with it. Jason Dinger taught it to me. Thank you, Jason. Played it several times. The publisher sent us a copy. And after playing it several times, I got on the internet and looked up all the controversy that's taking place with it. Apparently, the Kickstarter, which was really successful, sent out some very poorly manufactured copies. And the company as a whole has not followed through with trying to fix said copies. And so apparently the copy we got is a retail version, which is much better than the Kickstarter version from what I understand from talking to people. And so it really pains me to have a game that I like so much, but know that it was produced off the backs of people who backed a Kickstarter thinking they were going to get a high quality game, and now the customer service of Cranio tends to be a little lax about it. I don't know how I feel about that. That's very
What are you going to do?
well, it makes me not want to recommend the game
I understand.
because I really like I love the game.
You love it.
I'm not going to say I like it. I love it.
You love it.
Enrique loves it.
Enrique loves it.
It is
I am undecided.
give me a 30-second. Just let me give a quick run through so that the listeners will understand. In Barrage, there's this mountain.
Are you going?
Water comes down off the mountain, and what you're doing is trying to build
Coming down the mountain.
dams,
Damn.
Blanchett, or
Damn Blanchett.
power. What's turbines and power stations.
I don't think they're called turbines in the game.
They are. Yeah, they are. And then what you're doing is you're trying.
Don't say that so cocky
I know,
and roll
but
your eyes.
I said it very cockily and rolled my eyes so
think
that
that's
now
what
when you can edit this out later when I'm wrong. Like you do everything. Your editing skills are amazing. I cannot believe
sir.
that some of the things.
That may be the first compliment you've ever given
Well,
me
I'm
to
drinking.
my face.
I'm drinking.
The truth comes out when you drink.
And be no veritas. Yeah. So Barrage, you collect water.
Quick, real quick, stop.
Yes.
Definition of I played this with Mike. He kept saying, "But why is it called barrage?"
It's water. It's a barrage of water.
I told that to him,
And he said
but
no.
he kept thinking of like military action, like a barrage of fire, like they're firing a barrage at you. I said, "No, like a barrage of water, like all this water's coming at you." The first definition on the internet here says a dam placed in a water course to increase the depth of water or to divert it into a channel for navigation or irrigation. That's literally the definition of barrage.
Thank you, people. So in Barrage, you are strategically placing your dams to catch water, then diverting that water into your power supply, using that energy to fulfill contracts. Very simple in terms of its mechanics because it's worker placement. You have a set amount of workers each round. You set them out. You do these actions. The things that are different about this game is it has this little wheel, which tends to be, I guess, what was so...
It keeps on turning.
Yes, this wheel which was damaged, I guess, in the Kickstarter, where you put your resources at and what you're going to build, and then you turn that wheel. And in each couple rounds, you end up turning the wheel. So it simulates that your resources are tied up in building this structure. So you run out of resources very quickly. You run out of engineers very quickly. You run out of money very quickly. Everything in this game is super tight. It has its own player board, kind of like Scythe, where you're building structures and taking them off. And as you're taking them off during a production round, you get more things. It's a little bit, it really feels like it's a very tight worker placement. It has a little bit of Scythe in that player board. It has a little bit of brass in the board where you're building things to really mess over your opponents. And yes, you do fight. You purposely build things.
It's very take that.
It's very mean. And you have to think ahead. You're always $1 short. You're always an engineer behind. You always don't have what you need. It is a wonderful game. I enjoy it thoroughly. It is a top 10 game for me. And it is one of the best games.
Top 10 coming in May 2020.
One of the best games I played in 2019. The best game so far. I'm holding my...
You're declaring that already.
I'm declaring that.
We have yet to do our best games of 2019 podcast.
But we have Watergate coming, which is also about water.
We
Barrage.
have yet to play King's Dilemma.
We have yet to play King's Dilemma. We have Coloma coming.
Coloma.
Kane says it's good.
That's what Kane said.
And you know, if Kane is able.
He is able to say that.
And we have Maracaibo, and then we got Predaporter, and what was that other one? Kalis, the redone.
You know how
Kalis?
long Kane has hated his brother?
I don't know.
As long as he was able.
Okay, that was funny. I'm sure Kane is laughing at that.
I appreciate it. Biblical humor.
Barrage.
Hashtag biblical humor.
Barrage. I love it.
Calm down.
Enrique loves it. You, however.
I don't know how I feel.
Tell me how you feel, sir.
I don't know. This is a game I think I either love to hate or hate to love.
What does that mean that you love to hate?
Good question.
When you love to hate something.
It means it irritates me. It frustrates me. But I can't stop playing it. I played this with Jerry and Enrique. We started it one night.
And we quit.
One starry night. Late in the evening. Late in the evening, after we had podcasted, played other games, it was like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. My brain was fried. Jerry, let's play Barrage. I couldn't handle it. It was too much. I was exhausted. We stopped halfway through. Then we played it again. Me, Jerry, and Enrique. The fantastic trio. Where is Enrique anyway?
I told you he's working.
He needs to get here.
He'll get here soon.
Chew those wings in a hurried fashion, Enrique. And we played Barrage, and I got blown out of the water, as well as did you, by Enrique. Enrique lapped us.
He is a savant.
He lapped up that damn water.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. When we were playing that at BGG, every time I built a dam, we were playing this with a individual that I got to teach the game to. And Derek, who loves 18xx games, from talking to him, every time I built a dam, I'd yell, "Damn!" And he did not think that was funny.
You have to, though.
I thought it was hilarious.
I think that needs to be in the rule book.
All right.
So we played this Enrique and me and Jerry. In the course of this game, I said, I don't like this game.
Right.
It was irritating me.
And I, of course, lashed out. I'm sorry.
He lashed out, telling me I'm an idiot for having my own opinion.
I did not say idiot. I said you were ignorant for hating something that you do not fully understand.
Well, still, how dare you?
I did. Yeah, I dared. Oh, I dared.
So I was telling him that, the energy track.
Yes, that's what the word that we produce energy.
The energy track, where
this track,
once you produce energy, and if you don't produce anything, it's a negative 3 points. If you produce energy, you move off of that, and you produce however many energy is required. But then there's those bonus points up top.
All right. I will say this. This is one of the most convoluted things about the game. It is
terrible.
I have no issues understanding it, but I will say
I don't now
because you've played it multiple times.
But upon first 3 plays, I was like, "What the crap is going on with this?"
And I will say that it took me several plays to enjoy this game. This is not a game that you sit down, understand fully the first time. It's not a game that you understand the strategy the second time. It is one of those games you must play a couple of times to really get it under your belt and then feel comfortable with moving about the board and building things and knowing the strategies. So yeah, this is not a game that you play once, fall in love with, and are no, it is not. The artwork's decent. I enjoy that it's kind of drab, though. I mean, it's kind of like... It's
kind of dark. It's all kind of dark.
It's like rainy. dark and rainy.
Like dark and rainy, like today.
Like today. In
Northeast Texas.
The tornado warning is still.
We're good. We're fine. It's done past us. It was till 6:45.
I have been into a tornado once. So I have a phobia of tornadic activity.
Me too. I hate it.
How much do you
This has
hate?
been discussed on this podcast previously. I don't like nighttime. I don't like nighttime weather.
Stealth tornadoes.
I don't want tornadoes coming at me at night because it's a black funnel in the black night sky.
Yes, I agree. They're very
I could drive right into it. And the only way I might know there's one coming is by the debris.
Do you remember Twister?
Yes, we've had this discussion.
Well, let me just say something.
I hope there's a cow that broadsides me so that I know that I'm driving into a tornado.
I am so glad you brought up Twister. So I come home from lunch today.
He's the extreme.
I came home from lunch just to stop by my house, and I found my wife watching one of my favorite movies, Sin of a Woman. Al Pacino. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
Never seen it.
Yeah. Oh.
That's all I know of that movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's great.
Is it?
It's got Chris O'Donnell in it,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And then
is he wearing his bat suit?
Oh no. So he's in it, but also
or is he doing Las Vegas CSI?
Playing second fiddle to him is none other than what is his name? The actor who died, who I greatly enjoyed. What was his name? Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh,
he's in it. A young Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Worth it right there.
And I just love it. And so I got to thinking about Philip Seymour Hoffman shows, and I got to tell my wife, I was like, I love this guy. And then I realized he was in Twister. He's the guy with the weird shirt. It's just, and I just love the fact that like he's just spread out throughout movie just genres.
Greenidge.
He's just there. And it just dawned on me, like Chris O'Donnell's career, he's like NCIS Los
Angeles.
No,
I said Las Vegas earlier. It's Los Angeles.
No, he's CSI New Orleans. He's
no.
Isn't he? He's Orleans.
Chris, we're off on all accounts. He's NCIS Los Angeles with LL Cool
J. Anyways, but like Philip Seymour Hoffman, he's a respectable actor. What happened to Chris? Chris, man, you played Robin.
He put on those bat nipples. That's where he veered.
Here's the thing. If you're Chris O'Donnell and you have a producer telling you you're going to be Robin and your suit has to have nipples.
Make you Robin, but you're going to have nipples.
No.
Bat nipples engage.
No. And
maybe they were like supposed to like cut glass and save them.
Your favorite Batman, not Christian Bale. I'm talking about the Batman, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Michael Keaton era.
You know, to be honest,
I even throw in West. Go ahead.
Growing up, I didn't really have a preference.
Okay, but now you should have a preference.
Now it's Christian Bale.
I know, but without Christian Bale,
I don't know. They're all the same.
Oh, how dare you!
Okay. You know what?
The correct answer is Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Yay! Val Kilmer. The worst episode, but he sold it.
No, that was not the worst.
No,
the worst was George.
Come on. Yeah, okay.
Everybody freeze.
That was pretty bad.
Welcome to the Ice Age.
That was a spot on.
Let me look up all the Ice Man. I don't know if it's just...
I have this graph. Like the more... When I first get here, I don't like any of your voices, but the more proper 12 I drink, it's like I'm there with Arnold all of a sudden. I love it. Nice.
That's because all his voices are terrible.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
What happened? Speaking of which, whatever happened to Alicia Silverstone? I would say Alicia, or is it Alicia?
It's no, bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Alicia. What happened to her?
She doesn't make movies anymore. I think Batman did her in as well. The only one that survived I guess Arnold survived it.
Are you kidding me? Uma Thurman did just fine after that. and then
what did she do? You tell me
Kill Bill.
Uma Thurman movies.
Kill Bill.
Volumes 1 and 2.
I'm already 2/3 there, man.
That's it.
And plus she was in, Pulp Fiction was before that, wasn't it? I'm sorry. My mind is fried right now in terms of Uma Thurman.
You worried about that tornado coming at you.
You got me thinking of Uma Thurman.
Cleopatra coming at you like that tornado.
Another one
Another one.
Voice there all of a sudden.
I don't like it when your eyes go to the floor and you're in deep thought.
I was thinking about actors that it really bothers me that they're not making films anymore. But I think of Daniel Day-Lewis retiring, that really set me back. Al Pacino has been in stuff, but he's done. Robert De Niro, who you think
they
is
did
done.
The Irishman, and like that's their last hoo-ah.
Yeah, like that's hoo-ah. Their last hoo-ah, and they're done. And it's like, what's going on? It's
I mean, they are very old. How old is Robert De Niro?
When are where are our generation's iconic actors?
Our iconic actors.
Where are
Me
they?
and you. All right. I would say Keanu Reeves, who had the Keanu-sance.
He has got there. He's there. He's
through John Wick and whatever else. He's coming out with Bill and Ted 3. Another super action hero of me and your age. I mean, technically, mine was literally like Arnold because that was my time. But if I was to say like early 90s.
Mark my words, Daniel Craig is going to blow up. No, he's not. He's got more coming.
I liked his movies. I liked his Bond.
Joaquin Phoenix got more
Joaquin
coming.
Phoenix.
He's
like, okay.
Yeah, he's coming.
I could literally watch and my
Let me
brother-in-law,
read. Let me read the tweet that Gabi sent me earlier. That basically says I could listen to Joaquin Phoenix read a phone book.
I could watch.
You could watch him read a phone book.
I would watch him read a phone book. I liked him from Gladiator.
Oh yeah,
Commodus. Like you could see the turmoil within him. The thumb point up down.
Thing,
he couldn't make up his mind. He wanted the glory. He wanted the power, but yet he wanted to be loved. Like all of that was
like me. Tell me more.
You are Commodus. He wanted all those things, and I could see that. And I don't know if he got nominated for that. I think he may have got nominated, but that's like 2000. It was literally like 20 years ago.
What's the difference between an Oscar and a Golden Globe? I don't know. I don't watch those.
Apparently alcohol.
Oh, okay.
And apparently, according to Ricky Gervais, the studios just buy
the Golden Globes.
Yes.
Well, if anybody wants to buy a Snobby Award, they can just boardgamesnobs@gmail.com.
Oh, speaking of which,
I'll send you my
we
baby
have
now.
asked for the Snobbies. None of them have given anywhere near any of the other person's responses.
Oh, that's okay. Well, that's all right.
We've had Wingspan.
I'm going to calculate.
We've had Hodara.
Who?
We've had Coloma.
Yeah. And Clank.
We've had Clank.
Legacy.
None of them have been even close to each other.
That's okay.
So the Snobbies will probably okay.
Sporadic.
From here on in.
Erratic. Just like
you can
us.
please still write in with your favorite game of the year. We'd just like to know from our usuals, the people that regularly email, please email. If you don't regularly email, please email.
If you're in Australia, just email and let us know you're
let us know you're still there. But otherwise, me and Jerry will probably just declare game of 2019 in a future podcast.
We will.
Probably about 2021.
That's probably we're slow. But Barrage, I love Barrage. I remember this is a Board Game Snobs podcast. It's about board games. I love Barrage. I am conflicted because I know it's a niche thing. It gives me this feeling. I'm bad about describing games, but I'll tell you the feeling. The feeling I get from Barrage, it's very brass.
Has Dan Thoreau...
Van Throt, he's
not. He needs to do Barrage.
Okay.
And then I will make up my mind.
Barrage, I have a feeling of brass. It's a violent brass. It's cutthroat. It's intuitive.
Because you could build a dam that catches water. There's 3 paths that the water flows. Okay, this is part of my issue with Barrage.
Tell me.
It is not intuitive.
Oh, all right. I'll back up what I just said 5 seconds ago. It's not intuitive.
It is not intuitive. Because the water, if it just flows naturally, flows down these
paths.
Like
and Grand Canyons.
There's 3 paths. And 2 of those paths go to 4 paths. There's 4 paths. 2 of those paths go to the same spot, and then 2 of the other paths go to their own spot. So if the water flows naturally, it flows to the dams. If you process the water through your energy plant, those pipes filter the water, and the pipes go all over the board.
And they're diverted.
And that confuses me.
It's very confusing.
You have to follow the arrows that point you which way the water flows.
Nobody likes arrows.
I don't like that.
Except the arrow.
The arrow does like that. The Green Arrow.
And Robin Hood. Get it? Did from Robin Batman to Robin Hood.
I got you.
Hard merge.
Got you.
Segway.
So if you're processing the water into energy, it flows completely different than if the water just flows down from the plant as it does each end of the round.
Yes.
Beginning of the round,
Correct.
whichever one it is.
So there is a lot that's
It's
confusing
confusing.
about Barrage.
And what irritates me about that, well, if you process the water, you have to follow these weird pipes that go from here to there, to there, to there. And then once you process it through your energy plant, then it still will fall down the regular water path. That is frustrating.
That is frustrating.
It's not intuitive.
My thing that I will say to all of our listeners, if you like brass, if you've played brass, give Barrage a chance. If you haven't-
Barrage. If you like brass, give Barrage a chance.
Yeah.
That's your thing?
That's my thing. I think that there's enough about it that if you have the mental energy to understand brass and its tactics, then you can take that and apply that to Barrage. You're all right. I would say, though, but brass is still a better game.
You still like brass better.
I think so. I'm going to hash that out.
I
don't know
will
if I
tell
like
you,
the-
whenever we do our new list, our new favorites, our new top 20s,
Correct?
top 10s, whatever, the viticulture is not going to be my number one anymore.
Don't you say that heresy. I will not have it.
I can't do it.
You can't do it anymore?
I can't do it.
You can't do it anymore?
No. In fact, I tweeted
You tweeted that?
Lord Stackmeyer.
Who did you... Who?
Lord Stackmeyer.
Jamie?
Jamie.
The one-armed man? Of
Lord Jamie.
Lord Jamie?
And I said to him, I said, will you create a viticulture 2, much in line with Marco Polo 2? Because I love viticulture. I don't think he read my whole tweet.
Your microphone just fell out.
My microphone just fell out.
I don't know if
Part of
Jamie
the-
listens to you. He's too busy combing his hair.
He's too busy combing his hair and going on boating tours with boat shoes.
With boat shoes? Does he wear boat shoes?
He wears boat shoes much like you do.
Listen, right now.
And his are Sperry's.
Respect. There's nothing wrong with boat shoes, and there's nothing wrong. Well, okay, I will say boat shoes are pretentious. Like it implies that you are a man of the sea and not of the land. Speaking of air, land, and sea, segue.
Let's kick some ice.
I liked air, land, and sea.
Mr. Freeze. Is that he says, let's kick some ice.
By Arcane Wonders, designed by John Perry.
You're just going to ignore
Air,
Mr. Freeze.
land, and sea.
Okay,
That
we're going to okay, got you.
I'm just going to talk
We're
about this.
segueing. Okay.
Yeah, segue. We haven't done that in a long time. By Arcane Wonders is a 2-player game, plays in about 20 minutes. It is basically Battle Line.
Yes.
But I enjoyed this.
It's fine.
But I'm poking on the box.
I hear it. I see it. And I enjoy it as well.
Did you not like the air or the land or the sea?
I prefer Battle Line.
Just okay.
Did I jump to the end too quickly?
I would say that if you don't like, okay, all right, fine. I'm trying to be positive about stuff.
What?
I enjoyed Air, Land, and Sea.
I did as well.
I like Earth, Wind, and Fire. I enjoy. That was not funny. Why are you laughing? What? I don't know. That's not funny. You calm down. That wasn't funny. It's not. It's not funny. It's fine. Earth, Wind, and Fire are awesome. Air, Land, and Sea, not so much. It's like the weird boy band of Earth, Wind, and Fire. I expected it to be kind of like In Sync. No, 98 Degrees. That's the worst boy band, was 98 Degrees.
No.
Who?
No.
In 98 Degrees, In Sync, or Backstreet Boys?
There was worse than that.
No, I'm talking about mainstream. 98 Degrees was mainstream. Backstreet Boys brought us Timberlake, right?
No, that was In Sync.
I'm sorry, In Sync. Who is
Backstreet Boys brought us nothing.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
didn't-
problem.
But 98 Degrees brought us Turmoil.
The Backstreet Boys had Aaron Carter.
Oh, please. Oh, we are so... no. Was he the one that was married
98 Degrees was married to Jessica Simpson.
That's right. That's what's his face.
And they had the whole thing with the reality show with Jessica Simpson.
She couldn't figure out if tuna fish was
Bumblebee
fish
tuna.
or chicken.
Yes,
Yeah.
chicken of the sea.
Well, I will say, speaking of the sea, Air, Land, and Sea, I like it. For
It's
a quick
fine.
2-player game.
It's very good.
It's decent. It's not something that it's no Hanakanoji.
This is my thing.
Tell me about your thing.
I'm glad you brought up Hanamakoji. Hanamakoji? Hanamakoji.
Write it.
When it comes to card games,
Yes.
strictly for 2 people, I don't generally enjoy that because if I want to play a game, I want to play a game. Give me an Anachrony 2-player. I would play that.
You want something meaty.
I want a meaty, like I like my roast beef.
Go ahead. Brought to you by
Airlines
Arby's.
is fine, but I prefer Battle Line. Hanamakoji is still my favorite 2-player game.
But Watergate's coming, and you don't know.
Watergate's coming, and I heard
So-
it's really, really good.
We have accomplished several things during this
Nothing.
podcast. I love
Have we?
Barrage. Probably the best of the year, but we're waiting. I'm holding off. Don't quote me on that just yet. We're still working on it. If you're in Australia, please drop us a line.
Let us know.
We are worried about you, Troy. He has a very
we haven't heard from in a while.
Who? Chris LaFleur?
No, well, I've heard from him. Bruno.
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 We haven't heard from Bruno.
You need to check in, Bruno.
I think Bruno, the type of guy, he's probably out fighting the fires.
How long do podcasters stay with a podcast? Like, I've been listening to certain podcasts, and maybe I've outgrown them, or after
No.
a while,
You can't outgrow us.
I'm just tired of them.
We're like a parasite. Once we get inside, you just can't.
But we
shake
hope
us.
that you don't outgrow us.
Follow us on the Twitter.
BoardGameSnobs at gmail.com, Twitter at BoardGameSnobs, Instagram at BoardGameSnobs, Facebook. We have a Facebook group. We have a Facebook page. I don't think you understand that we have a Facebook page.
I know we have a page. I don't care about the page. I've turned a page.
The
Metallica.
group. Turn the page.
We're just in the group.
We have a group that is closed. It's private. So you
Yes.
can say what you want, and
like
only
a-
the group knows.
And I'm the bouncer. I have to let you in.
We have a Board Game Geek Guild.
Which the guild is
I
public.
posted something. No one has responded.
But it's because nobody cares. There's only like 60 people in the
We
guild.
need to stop the guild.
No.
We need to
I like the
filter down to a particular.
I like the guild.
Okay, fine.
I like
whatever.
having a guild. Not of London, but just of America.
If you like us, rate us a 5 on Apple. If you don't like us, then just stop listening.
No. Sound advice. This is Jerry.
This is Gabby.
Is that a tornado siren?
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.